This is this is a poem uh, by Stephen Vincent Benet. I think you'll like it, might not, but it's called The Mountain Whippoowill, which is a bird and dear to the people in various country regions all around the United States. And so here it goes. This one pretty much takes place in Georgia. Uh, Here it goes. Up in the mountains, it's a lonesome old time. Soft winds fluing through the sweet potato vine. Up in the mountains, it's a lonesome for a child. Whippoorwill a calling when the sap runs wild. Up in the mountains, mountain in the fog, everything's as lazy as an old hound dog. Born in the mountains, never raised a pet, don't want nothing and never got it yet. Born in the mountains, lonesome born, raised running ragged through the cockleberries and corn. Never knew my pappy, maybe never should. Think he was a fiddle made out of mountain laurel wood. Never had a mammy to teach me pretty please. Think she was a whippoorwill, a skitting through the trees. Never had a brother near a whole pair of pants. But when I started to fiddle, why, you gotta dance. Listen to my fiddle, kingdom come, kingdom come. Hear the frogs a-chucking, jug-a-rum, jug-a-rum. Hear the mountain whippoorwill being lonesome in the air. And I'll tell you how I traveled to the Essex County Fair. Essex County Fair has a mighty pretty fair. All the smarty fiddlers from the South come there. Elbows flying and they're rosin up their bow for the first prize contest in the Georgia Fiddler Show. Old Dan Wheeling, with his whiskers in his ears, kingpin fiddler for nearly 20 years. Big Tom Sargent with his blue wall eye, and little Jimmy Weezer that can make a fiddle cry. All sitting around, spitting high and strutting proud. Listen, little whippoorwill, you better bug your eyes. Tune while the judges told the crowd, them that's got the most claps wins the best prize. Everybody's waiting for the first twiddle-dee when in comes a stumbling hillbilly me. Bowed right pretty to the judges and the rest, took a silver dollar from the inside of my chest, plugged it a vest, plucked it on the table and said, there's my calling card. Anyone that fiddles and licks me, well, he's got to fiddle hard. Old Dan Wheeling, he was a laughing fit to holler. Old Jimmy Weezer said, there's one dead dollar. Big Tom Sargent had a yaller toothy grin, but I tucked my little whippoorwill spang underneath my chin and petted it and turned it till the judges said begin. Big Tom Sargent was the first in line. He could fiddle the bugs off sweet potato vine. He could fiddle down a possum from a mile-high tree. He could fiddle a whale bottom of the sea. You could hear the hands spanking till they spanked each other raw when he finished variations on Turkey in the Straw. Little Jimmy Weezer was the next to play. He could fiddle all night, fiddle all day. He could fiddle chills. He could fiddle fever. He could make a fiddle rustle like a low-laying river. He could make a fiddle croon like a loving womb. And they clapped like thunder when he finished strumming. They came the ruck of the bobtail fiddlers. Let's go easy to the fair to middlers. They got their claps and they lost their bicker, and they all sat back for some more corn liquor. And the crowd was tired of their no-count squealing when out in the center steps out old Dan Wheeling. He fiddled high, he fiddled low. Listen, little whippoorwill, you got to spread your wings. He fiddled at the fiddle with the cherry bow. Old Dan Wheeling got bee honey in his strings. He fiddled the wind by the lonesome moon. He fiddled a almost mighty tune. He started fiddling like a ghost. He fiddled like a host. He fiddled north. He fiddled south. He fiddled the heart right out your mouth. He fiddled here and he fiddled there. He fiddled salvation everywhere. When he was finished, the crowd cut loose. Whippoowill, there's rain on your breast. And I sat there wondering, what's the use? Whippoowill, come to your nest. But I stood pert and I took my bow and fiddle went to my shoulder so, and there wasn't no crowd to get me phased. I was alone where I was raised up in the mountains, so it makes you scared when God lies sleeping in his big white beard. And heard the sound of the squirrel and the pine, and I heard the earth breathing through the long night time. They fiddled the rose, they fiddled the thorn, but they haven't fiddled the mountain corn. They fiddled sinful and they fiddled moral, but they haven't fiddled the breastwood laurel. They fiddled loud and they fiddled still, but they haven't fiddled the whippoorwill. They started off with dump to D, diddle dump. The old heddle broke loose in Georgia, skunk cabbage growing by the bee gum stump. Whippoorwill, you're singing now. My mother was a whippoorwill pert. My father, he was lazy, but hell broke loose in a new store shirt. To fiddle all George crazy, swing your partners up and down the middle, sachet, oh listen to that fiddle, flipjacks flipping red on a red-hot griddle, and hell broke loose. Hell broke loose. Fire on the mountain, snakes in the grass. Satan, hear a villain, oh Lordy, let him pass. Go down Moses, set my people free. Pops goes a weasel through the old Red Sea. Jonah's sitting on a hickory bough. He jumps a whale, and hear your prophet now. Back a rabbit in the pea patch, possum in the pot. Try stop my fiddle, now my fiddle's getting hot. Whippoorwill singing in the mountain hush, whippoorwill shouting from the burning bush, whippoorwill crying in the stable door. Sing tonight as you never sung before. Hell's broke loose in the stomping mountain shoat. Sing till you bust the gold in your throat. Hell broke loose 40 miles around, bound to stop your music if you don't sing it down. Sing on the mountains, little whippoorwill, sing to the valleys and slap 'em with a hill, for I'm a strutting high as an eagle quill, and hell broke loose, hell broke loose, hell broke loose in Georgia. That wasn't a sound when I stopped, there wasn't a sound when I stopped the bowing. Whippoorwill, you can sing no more, but somewhere in the other, the dawn was a growing. Mountain whippoorwill, and I thought I fiddled all night and lost. You're a good hillbilly, but you've been bossed. So I went to congratulate old man Dan, but he put his fiddle in my hand, and then the noise of the crowd began. Thank you. It's kind of a nice poem.